Hi, everybody. Welcome back to your 12 weeks of practice, of Calmer Kids practice. We hope that everybody is doing really well and that you guys are actively involved in the practice of all of the activities that we've been sending you. And I hope that you're really finding the breathing activities and the mindfulness and the grounding activity that we've sent to you to be really useful. And know that this stuff is really based in science, and hopefully throughout this program we'll get more of an understanding of that stuff. But know that the mindfulness practice is really, really important, and there's connectivity in the brain that makes this stuff really, really important to pay attention to. So we hope that you're finding all this stuff really useful for yourself and for your children. So here is your practice for this week. Um, we talk a lot about the dyad and the relationship that people have with their children, and about the fact that in our guideposts to our work, we talk about um, things that we know to be true. One of the big things, there's two things based in the science that we know to be true. We know that there is absolutely no best and bigger line of defense in helping reduce stress behaviors than social connectedness and the feeling that you have between the person who is in your dyad, your mother, father, your caretaker, your teacher, whatever. That is our first and most powerful line of defense in helping to reduce stress behaviors, and it is science based. The second thing that we know to be true is that we have years of academic research now that will tell us that punitive or punishment behaviors do not work. They don't help create the behaviors that we want to see in children. And if anything, the fear of being punished will actually make situations more challenging in the long run, because you may see a behavior change and you may get sort of reinforced to be able to do this. Take away your iPad, take away your TV time, sending you to your room for punishment. You're not allowed to do whatever anymore. That particularly with little children, it actually just makes the fear of the punishment so great that children do all kinds of other things as stress behaviors because of the fear of the punishment, and it will make more stress behaviors and more stress behaviors, and can lead to things like lying and hiding, and then people get really agitated because they see lying and everything. So there's the science. We need to work on connectivity, social connectivity, relationship, and we need to stop falling into these very old, antiquated ways of dealing with challenging behaviors that have never worked. They've never been shown to work in the research. They don't work in real life. So here is your task for this week. We are trying to stomp out the practice of timeout. And you can understand why now based on those things that I just told you about research. They don't work. They've never worked. They're going to make your situation worse. So what we want to be able to do is practice something which is the opposite, which is what we like to do. We like to take situations and turn them upside down, and that's where the learning happens. So rather than a time out, we want you to practice time in. So when you see children doing things that you would consider to be misbehaviors, which now hopefully you're always reframing into stress behaviors, when you are seeing children behave in a way where you are about to go, why are you doing that? Stop doing this, stop doing whatever. And you're feeling yourself go out into that direction, and you're going to say, well, you're not going to get this or that if you don't stop doing what you're doing. Pull that child closer to you. Do not do a timeout. Timeout is sending people away. That is disconnection. That is the opposite of dyad work. It is actually sending people away where they are percolating about how much they dislike what's happened to them. It's not showing them that you understand that they may be stressed, or they may be hungry, or they may be tired, or maybe they're getting cold, or maybe they're doing, all kinds of things to get your attention. But know that the impulse to do time out, we need to look at our impulses and do the opposite. When we say, get out of here, get out of my sight, go to your room, go, those kinds of things, we need to actually kind of stop and pause and go, this is a communication that there is a problem, and I'm going to pull this child closer to me, as opposed to sending them away. And if you can't do it in that moment, then you need to do it before bedtime, or you need to do it the next, whatever you need to do. You need to know that you need to be able to communicate with them that that they are safe, that they're fine, that I understand. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we are, as adults, really messed up in our ideas about stuff because we are expecting emotional perfection from little children who don't know the way yet. They're little. They're not there yet. They don't have the menu of things to choose from when they're frustrated. Adults don't, actually, to be quite honest, right? You know, the frustrated person in your office who's yelling and barking and the bully and all that kind of stuff, they don't have the menu of the behaviors either. So we need to, as the grown-ups, say, you know what, this is a little person. This little person is actually asking for help right now. So that's your task for this week. It is to practice time ins and not time out. And we'll reflect on that. And next week, when we do our live session, to say, how did that go? How did it feel? And it might feel weird, because guess what? When you start to practice new things, it can feel weird for a little bit. But know that each time you practice, you will get better and you will get better and you will see the benefits on the other side. So that is your practice for this week. And we hope that you find it really useful. And we'll end it the same way I always do. That's practice. Okay, bye.